Before we bring in Anna Marie Cox, we mentioned Hillary Clinton saying that she likes her current job. This is what she said to ABC's Cynthia McFadden last night.
I want to ask you again, you're never going to run for president?
I have absolutely no interest in running for president again. None, none. I mean, I know that's hard for some people to believe, but, you know, I just don't.
It is hard for some people to believe.
Why?
I don't know why.
Why?
Because she's been
why?
working for that for a long time. Do you take her, or Anna Marie Cox here from Air America?
I
do you
think
take her
at
to
this
work?
moment she has no intention to run for president.
Oh, we'll parse those words. I love it. Yes, yes, no intention. Good, good. Thanks for being here. Want to start with the vote in the committee yesterday. You heard Congressman Grijalva saying that you need a public option in the House. What's different today because Olympia Snowe voted yes yesterday?
That Susan Collins matters less. That's new today, as you pointed out earlier. I think that we're sensing. I think there's some Democrats and some progressives who feel optimistic about getting in the public option, even if it's taken out eventually. As I keep on referring back to conversations we've had elsewhere, but
we keep them going all day long.
Well, at the note,
That's right.
You can do that. It would be tricky if they go into conference with a public option. The idea is it'd be hard to take it out. I don't know if that's going to happen, though. I tend to think that people are so scared of the public option. Conservative Democrats are terrified of it.
Because they think it's so easily demagogued from their political opponents that it is government getting involved in their health care.
Right, exactly. And I think that what the problem is, and I say this again and again on the show, is that the United States people, when they talk about this, when they're polled on this, they like the idea of a public option when it is described to them. But for some reason, there's just a huge, huge disconnect between how the conservative Democrats perceive the perception of a public option and what people actually want.
Also, I think because they fear that support is very soft and that it can be explained in certain ways by their opponents, that all of a sudden hardens up on the other side.
Right.
But it seems like there was a bit of a seesaw this week. The insurance companies come rearing out at the top of the week with this report that they paid for. That obviously
PricewaterhouseCoopers actually came out and disowned.
Yes,
we don't like that. They said it wasn't that good.
They came out and said, "Well, we didn't take everything into account."
You rarely get people who have performed the audit, out there saying, "Yeah, we don't really believe our own audit."
I think the insurance industry may have another report coming at the end of this week. But it seemed like that was going to provide a lot of fire for public option advocates, that they said, this is exactly what we're talking about. We need the public option to control these costs. Real competition here will make sure these premiums don't go down. And they thought, wow, now if everybody's against the insurance companies, everybody's going to join our side of the fight, according to the advocates. Then the very next day, Olympia Snowe all of a sudden becomes the senator that the White House has to hold. She's clearly opposed to a public option and robust. And all of a sudden, I feel like, public option advocates were deflated the next day.
I think the frustration is exactly what the representatives were saying before, is that we are now crafting legislation to please a single person.
One person.
One person.
The only one vote they'll get.
And that is, I think, tremendously frustrating. And if people can make that case to voters, I think that they will be frustrated with that kind of negotiation, and hopefully the moderate Democrats will gain some spine.
Anna, GQ this week, as you know, put out a list of the most powerful people in Washington, D.C., the 50 most powerful.
Somehow you two didn't make it. I'm very sorry. I understand you were 51 and 52.
In honor of that list, which did exclude us, we came up with some suggestions. We put it out to the Twitterverse, some suggestions of the least powerful people in Washington. And Susan Collins among the nominees that we saw. Obviously, she's not Olympia Snowe this week.
It'd be funny if she then changed her vote too. I wonder if she's tempted to do that. So no, see, my vote matters as well.
So who else do you like? Levi Johnston?
Levi Johnston, very not important.
Very aggressively not important.
Aggressively not important.
The non-vice president.
Who else do we have?
I liked Jim Zorn, the coach of the Washington Redskins.
Jim Zorn's definitely not very not a lot of pull here.
That's right, not a lot.
I've got a few suggestions for the gay and lesbian community, feeling not very powerful these days, with the president refusing to take action.
Even though they had thousands, they were here by the thousands over the weekend.
Yeah, and he said some very pretty things to them, as they deserved, he said. And who else? D.C. residents who cannot vote, or whose vote doesn't matter.
Taxation without representation.
Pretty not powerful.
As we know.
Who else?
Cindy Sheehan.
Cindy Sheehan, yeah, she's really kind of, she comes and goes.
And she's moving here now.
Yeah, I
we
heard
learned,
that she
yes.
might run for city council.
There are a lot of people on your list. A lot of non-powerful people in Washington.
Well, but it takes some power to lose power and then
Right.
come back a little bit. We heard two former presidential nominees, John Kerry and John McCain, were some popular nominees.
Yes, and that is a little unfair to both of them. I think actually, especially John McCain, who is out there very vocally trying to stump for other candidates, and also he's not backing down from this fight on Afghanistan. He is like going to be the president did all those different networks, and they made fun about him going on the Food Network. I really expect McCain to make the case for Afghanistan on Rachel Ray.
Well, they can still book him, and we booked him here as well. We also, I should mention, got a couple of ballots for Jake Tapper's cat, Walter, who moved down the pecking order when he had a baby, along with my dog, a little less influential.
To end
than
where
he
we
used to be.
began, one thing is fascinating. Hillary Clinton, as senator of New York, was higher on that list of influential and powerful people than she is as secretary of
And
State.
also, speechwriter John Favreau is more important than the National Security Council director.
Wow, that tells you something. Words matter. Honorary Cox, Air America. Thanks for being
Thanks
here.
a lot. That does it for this edition of Top Line. Click us on again tomorrow.
Twitter.com/TheNote. Let us who you think is not important. We want to know.